I've got a question for you. Why are you not watching anymore? Hey, it's Chris the Batman Statue Collector. Welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles. And if you actually are watching this, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, because you probably are the hardcore fan of the BSC channel. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. But a lot of people are not watching. And I want to give a shout out to this guy right here, if you can see him on the screen. This is Mr. X over at the Extreme channel. And I was watching one of his videos recently, and I will definitely link the video down below if you're interested in checking out the whole video, because it's really well done. And he brings up a lot of really valid points about why, and he titled it, "My YouTube channel is dead." And I think a lot of the video creators, including myself, Mr. X, and other channels out there that feature, whether it's comic books or collecting in general, or statues or toys, a lot of people are seeing a sharp decline in viewership. Well, we can talk for a long time about why that might be the case. And again, Mr. X did a phenomenal job of summarizing all of those things. And I'll briefly touch on some of them, but I did want to expand on one aspect as well, because I thought there was one point that he made that was really, it just kind of was like a light bulb moment for me. Whenever I first started here on YouTube, obviously I did not set out to become a reviewer, but I became one, just kind of the nature of the beast. My original intention was just to simply show off my collection to people that might want to see it, because I love to see other people's collections as well. And so I thought, maybe some of you out there would want to see it. And that was in the old I cannot speak today, sorry, the old Bat Attic. And of course, then that evolved over time where people wanted to see more the pieces close up and in detail. And that was a lot of fun. And then of course that evolved into the Bat Cave 2.0, 2.5, 2.6, whatever. And then of course the Bat Bunker, Bat Gallery, whatever you want to call this space. But we've been doing this for a long time here on YouTube for gosh, nearly a decade. And it's been interesting to see how not only the collection has evolved, how pieces have evolved over that time, but also just how the YouTube space has evolved. As Mr. X brings up, very well in his video, whenever a lot of us started out, there was only a handful of reviewers doing that. I remember what kind of inspired me was a guy named Bruce Campbell's Chin. He doesn't do YouTube anymore. There was so many other great ones out there that, were just on there promoting statues, promoting collectibles. And it was a lot of fun to see. And so, again, I didn't set out to become a reviewer or anything like that, but that's just kind of what happened because I was getting pieces in, having a lot of fun here on YouTube and connecting with the community. And that, again, has been the best part. But again, a lot of people are not watching these days. Well, I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think it all kind of started with COVID, and it all just kind of went downhill from there. Obviously, people needed to prioritize, kind of what was necessary in their life. Is it food or statues? Food, shelter or statue, shelter, right? So that is what it is. And we can also talk about the fact that over the last 5 years, statue prices have gone through the roof. Shipping is absurd. Then you throw this tariff situation that's still impacting some companies more than others. But there's a lot of reasons why non-communication from companies. That's also, ticked off a lot of collectors. And so I think that with any hobby, it comes and goes. It ebbs and flows, right? We're definitely in a valley. We've talked about it here on the channel for a long time. I do see a lot of promise from certain aspects of different companies. I also have heard from companies that say they don't see the hobby surviving in 5 years, which that is concerning as well, because I'm hoping it continues to thrive. But I think that obviously, like I said, if you're watching this, you're a hardcore collector most likely. And so you're probably not going anywhere. But, if you look at a standard video here on this channel, there's usually, 1,000 people that watch, which is amazing to me. There's other channels that do 10,000 or 20,000 views or whatever. And some of the convention videos and things like that, they do really well here on the channel because people want to see the statues. They want to see stuff. They want to see what the convention's like. They want to kind of live through someone else's eyes, which is a lot of fun. So some of those videos do really well here on the channel. But obviously, if you look at stuff from 5 years ago, there were more views, more interaction with the community, and that has dwindled down slowly over the last few years for all the reasons I just talked about. I think the number one thing for me is probably price. I think the companies price themselves out, and it sucks because it lost a lot of really great collectors. But I think the collectors then moved on to something else, whether that is, a more affordable collectible, or maybe they moved on to boating or, automobiles or motorcycles or whatever hobby that you're interested in. Sometimes, if you surround yourself with something for a long time, you're like, all this Batman stuff's really cool. I'm kind of over it now. I'm going to move on to this thing. I'm going to sell my collection and move on to this thing, right? So there are a lot of reasons why I think the hobby, I don't want to say it's dead, but it is, I don't even know if I want to say it's on life support. Maybe it's on life support. I think maybe we could say that. But I'm hoping there's a few doctors in the room that's watching, to kind of bring us back to life. Because again, I'm going to try to be optimistic here on the channel. But one point that Mr. X made that really resonated with me was the fact that there are a number of YouTubers, like he said, that would race to get a review out there for you guys. And I'll admit I was one of those people. I wanted to get out the review quickly so you guys can see it. Obviously, as a content creator, you do want to get the views. You want to have that interaction because that does help your channel grow. It helps grow the community and all that good stuff, right? Which is what I want. I want the community to grow, and I want more collectors to find this cool stuff that I love so much. It means a lot to me knowing that like maybe you see something that I love that you end up loving. That sort of thing. I love that. But one thing he said was, what happened was the companies themselves started making like out of the box videos, or they started doing their own reviews. And so they're able to do that before it ever ships. And so where people would, clamor to a channel to say, oh, what does Chris think about this? And if you watch this right now, you probably like me personally. If you watch these statue chats, you probably like me. And, if you only watch the reviews, you probably don't care about me at all. You just want to see the product, right? There's different collectors out there that view for different reasons. But if you're listening to this video, chances are you probably like to hear what I have to say. So I appreciate that. And some of you will still continue to do that if I review something here on the channel or talk about it, because you just want to hear what Chris has to say. But there's a lot of you also that maybe do not watch anymore because you could just go to Sideshow's YouTube channel or the Prime One YouTube channel or whatever, their Instagram, their Facebook, their social media, and you can just watch their out of the box. And so you can see the product up close to know what you're getting, especially when it comes to production, right? So that made perfect sense. And that's what I wanted to talk about today because I thought Mr. X made a very great point about that. And I hadn't really thought of that, of maybe one reason why people aren't watching as much as they used to, but I thought that was very valid. And so I wanted to turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think? What do you see as the biggest hindrance? Have you watched less channels? Obviously, there's a ton of channels out there now. There's a new one popping up about feels like every week. There's another live stream 7 days a week. And so there's content out there. And that did oversaturate, I think, of course, if you get so many people with so many different voices. But I also like that aspect as well, because then you can find your group of people, right? You can find your where you feel included and you feel like part of the community. Because again, that's the best part of this, right? The friendships, the community. And so even though that might suck for a content creator, if there's a whole bunch of competition out there, I don't view it as competition. I view it as the community's growing. And I think that's a great thing. But obviously for numbers here on the channel, it does affect that. So it's a double-edged sword, right? But at the end of the day, I am super happy that you're still here. You're still part of this hobby, whether you watch the content or not. And I would like to know in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you think is doing it? What do you think is making it decline? Is it the money? Is it the shipping? Is it tariffs? Is it just oversaturation of the same characters over and over again? I would like to hear your thoughts. And I'm sure some of you are going to say all of the above, Chris. You're preaching to the choir. But maybe there's something that I might have missed. Maybe there's something that hasn't been shared yet. Or maybe there's a personal reason why you do not watch collecting YouTube channels anymore. Or maybe if you want to put a positive spin on it, why do you still watch this channel? Why do you still keep coming back week after week and day after day and year after year? Because some of you have been around nearly a decade. And from the bottom of this BSC's heart, I can't thank you guys enough for that. You guys are absolutely incredible. And I'm always in awe of that, because I hear it all the time from you. And it means the world to me that I make a difference for some of you out there, and that, you trust me enough to listen to what I have to say. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for that. I hope you're all doing great. Again, I want to give a shout out to Mr. X once again. Phenomenal channel. I've had a chance to meet him 2 or 3 times now, and just a great dude. And so funny, funny guy. That's what she said, right? I mean, yeah, I throw that in there, right? I don't want to steal his shtick, but anyway, definitely check out the Extreme channel, and please give him a sub if you haven't done so already, and continue supporting other YouTube channels like that. It really means the world to us fellow YouTubers. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you soon in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, I have partnered up with Red Wolf Collectibles, maker of incredible comic book display options, including this outstanding, heavy-duty, and well-made slab stand featuring an anti-slip pad and all the accessories needed to display your most prized slab comic books, just like this one here in my collection. And now they even have interchangeable 3D design plates that feature really strong magnets that let you easily swap out logos to match your comic books, slabs, or whatever superhero you want to feature in your display in an absolutely incredible way. And these are just some of the plates available for purchase from DC, Marvel, and much, much more. I mean, look at all of the options here. You can even have your own custom logo made. And they also offer magnetized comic book frames. You simply remove the front, place your comic book inside, and place the magnetized cover back on. It's that simple, yet looks absolutely amazing, and even features a built-in hook so you can display it on the wall. I mean, look how awesome this looks. Now, if you don't have a slab, you can also purchase their protective comic book cases, which feature high-quality metal corners and screws. And you can also pair this up with the display stands to give it that amazing slab look. Now, all of these are absolutely incredible, and make sure you use code STATUE at checkout for a discount at redwolfcollectibles.com. I'm so happy to be partnering with them because their products are absolutely amazing. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.